Now, joining us live on the broadcast is American economist Douglas Holtz-Eakin. Thank you for joining us. Firstly, I want to ask you, how do you see this play out? We have seen time and again what the U.S. president has said. But do you think that these decisions will also stand judicial scrutiny? Because the tariffs have also come under some legal scrutiny. Are these executive decisions where the judiciary cannot interfere at all? How could this play out?
Not all of the tariffs are the same. There are some tariffs which are levied in the name of national security. These are the steel, aluminum, copper, automobile tariffs. Those will withstand judicial scrutiny. Those have been used before. There are others which are levied on, for example, China after an investigation into their trading practices. Those will survive judicial scrutiny. The remainder, the so-called universal tariff or reciprocal tariffs, in particular the ones levied on India, have already been ruled against in the lower courts of the United States. The appeals court heard that case a couple of days ago and will render a decision in the near future. Most people accept it to uphold the initial decision that these are not legally levied, and it will then be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. So I think there's a very good chance that these particular tariffs will fall under judicial scrutiny, and the president will have to be forced to try to something different.
Now, you spoke about how this could play out in the United States, but I also want to ask you about what India's stand has been. And we in India believe that President Trump is guilty of double standards. America imports uranium and other materials from Russia and yet penalizes India for importing oil from the same country. How do you see this?
I think you're correct that it's a double standard. There's the treatment of the U.S. versus India. There's the treatment of India versus China. China is purchasing large amounts of Russian oil. So there's no defense that can be made on the standards of fairness here. And one of the things that I think stands out about this entire episode is that these are not traditional trade deals. These are not voluntary agreements entered into by countries, vetted carefully, submitted to legislatures and ratified. These are essentially at the point of a threat by the U.S. president, entered into sometimes quite unwillingly by other countries. So it's not easy to defend these as sort of traditional practice of international economic policy.
So as things stand today, Mr. Douglas, negotiations are expected to be ongoing. The American delegation also arrives in India on the 25th of August to speak to the Indian counterparts. Do you expect Trump to back down, or do you think that he will stick to what he has decided and the announcement that he has made?
So I think we've seen two important patterns from his first time in office and now again. Number one, there will be repercussions in the U.S. economy, as I mentioned earlier, and he will respond to that pressure. If we get bad inflation numbers, if we get falling employment, and people identify the tariffs as the source, he will in fact pull back somewhat. There's no question about that. The second thing I'd note is that in his first time in office, he levied, for example, steel tariffs, and within 4 months, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Germany were all exempted from those steel tariffs, so that what was on paper didn't match what was going on in practice. He will continue to deal with any country. He likes making deals. He's always open for a negotiation. And I would expect that by the end of a year, any tariffs that are still on the books will not look anything like how they were originally levied. And there will be all sorts of room for carve-outs and exemptions.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with your perspective.